to talk about too, before I go into this, is that there's two scenarios where you're going to get referrals, right? So either you're going to be on a training appointment and you're going to be asking for referrals, or you're going to be on a referral appointment and ask for referrals. So just always keep that in mind. So typically when I get started on an appointment, obviously you always want to build rapport. So build rapport with the client. And if I'm on a training appointment, I'm trying to get referrals for the trainee. So a couple places that I'm going to mention where I ask for referrals is on the expectations page. So if you know where we say, hey, the trainee, hopefully one of these three things will happen when we meet with you, either excitement, value, and partner. So when I go over excitement, I'll say, hey, Rod, we're super excited about Jen, and I'm really excited about what she's going to do building a business right now. And one of the absolute best ways that you can help out Jen is by introducing her to 5 to 10 other people that you think could benefit. Critical. One of the best ways that you can help Jen out is by introducing her to 5 to 10 other people that you think can benefit. Right? So I'll say that, and then I'll say, hey, anybody just like you that could be married, couples, they have kids, single parents, right? But anybody that you think could benefit after you see our presentation today. Sound fair?
Yes.
That's on a training appointment, right? So then I go through that, and then a couple slides later, we're going to come back to the Primerica wheel. So I'm going to say, hey, our company is very unique, and we have the ability to work with all of these companies here. So, by the way, Rod, do you remember the best way to help out Jen with her training?
Yes, get a 5 to 10 referrals.
5 to 10, right? So some people will say, oh, referrals. Okay, do you remember how many? 10, 5? Yeah, exactly, 5 to 10. Exactly. So that's the second place that I'm going to ask about it, right? Then there's going to be the page that says blueprint, financial blueprint, I believe. And we're talking about the money GPS. And I'm going to mention that we don't charge any fees. So I'm going to say, hey, again, this is on a field training appointment. Since we're not charging any fees, that's why it's very, very important that you introduce us to how many?
5 to 10.
5 to 10 people for Jen, for her training, right? So 3 times I'm asking for 5 to 10 people. So at the end of the presentation, when you ask for referrals, you should get at least 1 or 2. Yeah. 5 to 10, right? Right. So that's there. Now, if it's a referral appointment, when I start off, build rapport, and then I'm going to emphasize the fact that when you meet with another financial advisor, usually it's not free. Right? When you meet with a financial advisor, they're going to charge fees either per hour, per visit, or they might charge 1 to 2% of assets under management that you handle. Right? So I'm not going to charge you that, Rod, but all I ask is that if you feel I'm professional, you got some value from what I went over today, is that you just introduce me to 5 to 10 other people that you think can benefit. And also, I mean, that's why Josh referred you. Does that make sense? Right? Because if it's a referral appointment, I got referred to him from somebody else who referred him. So at that point, he should feel comfortable. He's like, hey, I'm here now because Josh referred me. So then now you're emphasizing the fact, hey, hopefully you refer me to other people as well. So yeah, so those are the couple of places that I'm going to introduce it or ask about it. Usually on a referral appointment, I feel like it's easier potentially to get the referrals because it's a referral appointment. So they're expecting that, and they're not getting charged a fee to meet with you. When it's on the training presentation, I have seen a little bit more resistance, but that's why I ask it so many times throughout. All right, so then here, when we get to the money commitment, so now you've gone through the whole presentation, the theory of decreasing responsibility, and you're getting to the point to where you're going to quote them for options. That's where I'm going to actually ask for the referrals. And this is the same place I'll do it on a referral appointment or on a field training appointment. If it's a field training appointment, I'll ask, and then I'll have, I might send the link, but sometimes I'll ask the trainee to ask for the referrals instead. If I'm on a personal referral appointment, then I'm going to say this. So, hey, Ron, it's going to take me about 3 to 5 minutes to work some of these numbers for you. Like I said, there's no charge for my time today, but I just asked for those introductions. So you want to ask these series of questions every single time. Do you feel that I conducted myself professionally with you today?
Yes.
Perfect. Do you feel that you learned something new and it was valuable?
Yes.
Perfect. Do you feel that I answered all your questions? Maybe if you didn't even have so many?
Yes.
Great. And do you feel that there's other people just like you that deserve to hear the same information?
Yes.
All right, great. So remember earlier I said we'd like to ask for how many referrals?
5 to 10.
5 to 10, right? So at this point, what I'm gonna do is send you this link. So I'm gonna send them a link, which we have through our CRM, and you just fill in the information with them. So what I've started to do, like I mentioned before, is I'll go through the first one with them. So at least get one referral, right? So I said, for example, who's the first person you're thinking of, Ron?
Also,
Your sister. Okay, cool. So when you pull it up on your phone, there's gonna be the first line where it says referring client name. Right? Let me pull it here. So this is what it looks like. Referring client name. So you just put your first name and last name there. All right, and then it says first and last, and that's everything about your sister. So you put her first name there, her last name, what she does for work, if she's married. You just walk through the whole thing. And then I say, cool. If you don't have her email, it's okay. That's fine. Just put her phone number and then hit submit. That's it. You got the first referral, right? So walk them through the process. Now, if you don't have this set up, if you're not on our CRM, then you just ask them the same information. Hey, okay, cool. Who's the first person that comes to mind? Get the name. Are they married? Do they have kids? So on and so forth. Right? Now, when I get a referral, this is what it looks like from the CRM. I get a text. Right? So this was from a couple, Kyle and Sabina. And so I sent it to them and look at the timestamps, 41, 42, 44, 46, right? I get the text and they're filling it out and I'm sending it. I get their name, number, everything right then and there, right? I also said here, this is important. Don't go over the quotes until you get one. So if you fill it out with them, you'll at least get one, right? But if there's some silence and whatever the case may be, say, hey, Rod, are you having any trouble with the form?
No.
No? You mentioned, okay, cool. Well, yeah. Or I was like, oh, you mean like fill it out right now? Yeah. It's gonna take me a couple minutes to run the numbers, you can start working on it now. This is the first person you're thinking of. You just ask, just get one. Just get one, right? But a lot of times people are gonna try to shoot that 5 to 10 because we said it so many times. Then after now you get the referrals. So in a field training appointment, if you're not using that link, then you want to have the trainee make sure they're writing them down. I've been doing that with Matt and Mia. If I don't use the link, then they're just writing it down and they're getting the same information for me. So I'll say, hey, Rod, right now we're going to talk about the 5 to 10 introductions, blah, 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 go through the same script. And I'll say, well, Matt and Mia, they actually have a notebook ready and they're going to write down the information. So who's the first person that came to mind? And then I'll say, all right, cool, Matt, take it over. And then Matt will now start writing down the information. Right? So now once you have the referrals, I send out a text right away, even if you can't call them right away. You want to send it to them immediately. So the text is going to say, hey, Josh, this is Shondell. I was able to meet with Rod and Tony as a financial advisor and provided a lot of value on the way they view their finances. They felt you deserve to hear the same information as well. It's free. Would you be able to take a 5-minute call from me today or tomorrow? Thanks. Send it. Some people will respond right away. Some people won't respond at all, but at least they have the notification ahead of time. And then I'll call them that day if I have time, or I'll call them the next day. But they already know they're going to be expecting a call. I also tell the client, I'll tell Rod, hey, let them know I'm going to be texting them. I'm not going to call them right away. I'm going to send a text first. So can you just let them know that they're going to get a text from me? Yeah, that's it. Do you want me to go through the call when I'm calling them, or just this one? Okay. All right. So when I call the referral, again, I'm going to explain to them that I'm going to ask for introductions because I don't charge for my time. So, hey, Josh, I was just reaching out to you, obviously, because we have mutual friends with Rod and Tony. I did some financial work for them. I just like to explain a little bit about how I get paid. I don't charge per hour or per visit for my time spent working with the family. I just ask that if you find value, you introduce me to 5 to 10 other people you think could benefit. Would that be fair for you?
Yes.
All right, cool. A lot of people will say, oh yeah, sure, that'll be easy. Because they're realizing they don't have to pay anything to me. Right? Or like some people literally, I haven't even talked about anything with them and they're like, oh yeah, I already got like 2-3 people that I'm thinking, even before I've even had a conversation, right? So number one, then I'll just go through and ask, hey, so Josh, how do you know Rob?
We're coworkers.
Okay, cool. How long have you guys known each other now? Like 3 years. All right, awesome. And do you live in Virginia as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So right now, Josh, I actually specialize in 4 major areas. I help families eliminate their debt. I also help them with investments, so it could be short-term, long-term, college savings for their kids. And then I also help out with life insurance, which is what we call income protection. Just making sure the family is protected in case, God forbid, anything was to happen. So after I mention that, then I'm just going to go into data collection, right? They know I'm a financial advisor. They know I'm going to help them with finances. So you just start asking them about their situation. Have you ever had a financial advisor before? Or do you work with one now?
No.
You have. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And are you married? Significant other?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Awesome. do you guys do your finances together or? Okay. Perfect. You have any kids yet?
Huh?
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. Cool. Perfect. And what do you do for work now?
Just construction.
Construction. Okay. And what about your wife?
She'd stay at home.
Staying at home. Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. So construction.
Blended family.
Do they provide any benefits at your job now?
No.
Nothing.
No, man.
At all. So no 401k.
It's like health insurance.
Just health insurance. Okay. Awesome. If they say yes, then I'm gonna ask. Okay, cool. Is it a 401k? Are you contributing to it? Some people will say, no, I never really looked into it. Or yeah, I am. Okay. How much are you contributing? Do you know? Does your company offer a match? And just ask, see. Some people might have no idea at all, but ask, see what answers you get. Have you ever had an old 401k? At any old jobs? You know, a lot of people tend to leave jobs and they forget about their money. Oh, yeah. I think I might have had one when I worked at Walmart. Oh, okay, awesome. Do you remember how long you worked there? Okay, cool. Have you ever looked into trying to get your money? No? Okay, cool. We can definitely talk about that when we meet. Do you have any additional savings outside of work, right? Like an emergency fund at the bank, or any other IRAs, anything else that you're saving in, stocks, E-Trade, anything like that. Just find out if they have anything. And then do you have any debt? Credit cards, student loans, car payment, a mortgage. And then lastly, ask about insurance. Do you have any coverage now? Is it through your job? Is it private? If they say it is private, do you know what type it is? If it's term, whole life, universal life. And then I do ask about medical concerns because I want to know ahead of time, right? So do you happen to have any medical concerns at all? I know, like, if they have insurance, they already understand why I'm asking. But if they don't have insurance, I'll say, hey, well, when it comes down to life insurance, they do have to check your health to see if you can get approved. So do you have any current medical concerns now? Or do you use any tobacco or nicotine? And just ask those general questions just to get an idea. Because some people might say, like, I had a lady and she was like, yeah, man, I have a lot. Like, I have depression,
Oh my
anxiety, I have like this, that, I go to therapy 2 times. And some people might tell you all this stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is not gonna be great. But and then do you feel that you're paycheck to paycheck, or do you have some room in your budget where you can save and invest towards a plan? Very important question. Because some people will tell you, man, I'm just like, I don't have it. Like, it's really hard for me to save right now. I'm paycheck to paycheck, have a lot of expenses. It might be tough for me to do that. I'm probably not going to set that up. I might not set that up. But then most people, if they want to meet with you, they're going to say, yeah, if it's important enough, I'll find a way. I've heard that before, right? Or, yeah, sure, I definitely could set aside something towards a plan, right? And then I set the appointment. Be assumptive. So how am I scheduling it? Just how you set other appointments, give them an alternative choice, be assumptive, don't ask, are you available to meet with me? Just pick a date and time. Do you work remotely or at home? When are you and your spouse together? Okay, cool. And find a time that works. And then always, always, always send them the financial house video. Always send it to them before you meet. Say, hey, Josh, I just want you to watch this. It's going to go over a lot of the concepts that we're going to discuss. And there's going to be, so that way you're kind of not just like learning it all fresh when you meet. And there's going to be a survey at the end, so you can just check all the areas you're interested in. Sound good?
On the other slide right before this, you know how like last night we were setting it up so that as we're gathering data on the phone call, it just we created a link so that it automatically goes to the notes section. You know,
From
okay. And the second one was on the next slide at the bottom. As soon as you set the appointment,
if you are, yes,
It's
it already is.
you already get it.
Anyone else have questions?
You say when you set the form, the video, wow.
Yours does it.
Yeah.
Like, so right when you put it in your link, the video's out.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, she's not gonna shuffle through her phone. And she sent it to, the new client's name is, Evan, and say, hey, Margaret.
Oh my God.
How many times have you done that? For real,
Dude, 100 times.
right? Oh, sorry, wrong person.
Wrong video.
Oh, no. All right, anyone else have any other questions? Sure? Good? Easy? All right. Thanks, Jeff.